Welcome to another live episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie Arnell, G Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up. We ain't going nowhere. We still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
We're
still here. Although a little bit,
a
little bit down, but hey.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it was a good run.
It was a good run. The season was good.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you ask for? Other than winning, right. Other than going to the Super Bowl, but this team exceeded expectations.
Absolutely. I got to say this off the bat. Back in November, after we lost to Carolina, I said there was no way this team was going to be able to run the table and make the playoffs the way they were playing and everything. Hey, they showed you something. They definitely showed you something, man. The heart of this team cannot be denied. They played hard, and even in the game Sunday, you understand why there've been so few teams to go on the road and win 3 straight games and make it to the Super Bowl.
It's a tough task.
It's a tough task because you end up what we found out during the game is that you got players who got injuries that just popped up on them. Rashard Evans with the foot. You had, of course, Jayon Brown was already hurt.
Right.
You got to understand, even though he played, Adam Humphries was limited in what he could do. So, you just have all that going on, man. It just makes it rough.
It makes it real tough.
It's just one of the things that we just have to deal with, man. But hats off to the Chiefs. Bottom line is they played a heck of a game. Hats off to the Titans. Titans hung in there. I thought they played good. I thought they got away from the game plan overall.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But we'll get into that. But overall, as far as the season's concerned, man, great season. Like you said, really, and if you look at it honestly, based on where we were, you really couldn't ask for more. You would go from being 2-4 to playing in the AFC Championship game.
That's exactly right.
That's a heck of a run for a team. Because who was giving up for dead for all practical purposes.
Right. The season of what ifs and shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe the change to alignment or a lineup that changed the team around by going to Tannehill and relieving Marcus Mariota of his duties.
Yeah.
And, if you would have told me that Mahomes would have thrown for 294, we would have lost. And this lost by 11 points.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, that might be, I might take that. And still be in the game for the most part, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it overall in that game and you go back and really watch it, you'll see that for the most part, we held the offense in check. Now, the thing that really made the difference in that game, in all honesty, was their defense. Their defense was outstanding.
Yeah, you got to give them credit.
You got to give Spagnuolo his credit. I mean, he just made this decision. Look, we're going to play goal line defense on the Titans. Derrick Henry is not running. And you got to give him credit.
Yeah.
And, there was a couple of things in that game I really couldn't understand. Mm-hmm. We were constantly running to the left side of the line, and I couldn't understand why you didn't start running towards the right or up the middle. Again, this is just one of those things where you just go back and look at the game. You see some things, and I know they're going to do that. Arthur Smith is going to look at that game film, and he's going to look at some things he could have done differently. So, I mean, hey, great game, great season, and we're moving on.
Moving on. The first drive, of the game, I thought we left points on the field.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, disappointed. That was huge in my mind.
Yeah.
Because you can't give Kansas City any offense like they have any chance of saying, hey, every time they score, we're going to have to score. You got to keep it going. You got to keep the momentum.
And the thing on the first play, I just thought that really they kind of again, this is one of those things where you get away from what you can do. Mm-hmm. They went, they ran the ball down the field, short passes and everything, making good plays, and then you get 2nd and 6 and you pass the ball instead of running the ball, which to me, that's just kind of, to me, that's what showed me this game might not go the way we wanted to because they're focusing a little bit too much on Tannehill throwing the ball. And I don't know if they felt like they could or they needed to. But to me, I'm always of the mindset, you go with your strength until they show you they can stop it.
That's exactly right.
And at that point in the game, and early in the game, we were able to run the ball fairly effectively. I mean, like I said, first down, Henry got 4 yards. You had 2nd and 6. You figure if he gets, 3 yards out of that, 2 yards out of that, now you're looking at 3rd and 4, third and 3.
Right.
So you got your options open to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that disappointed me about that drive. But hey, everybody said, we didn't know the field goal kicker could make a field goal. He made his field goal.
We did find that out, right? I agree with you. Where they left their, I'm gonna say their true love, their first love, which was Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They should have kept running him, like you said.
Yeah.
And just looking back at that first drive, you had 4 passes.
Yeah.
Out of those plays, and so that's uncharacteristic.
But you don't mind those passes because they were short passes that ended up getting some good yardage out of it. So I mean that's fine. Yeah. I mean like I said, it's okay when you do that, but you got to understand how your game plan has always worked. Mm-hmm. And your game plan, bottom line is you run the ball with Derrick Henry. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the man done ran a lot over the past, 3 games, starting with the Houston game.
Yeah.
Somebody brought it up today, between Houston, New England, Baltimore, he ran the ball 96 times.
Yeah.
And that's averaging 32 carries a game. That's a lot. That's a lot.
But you got to keep rolling.
But you got to keep rolling with it. And it wasn't like he wasn't ready to roll with it.
Right.
He was ready to go.
He was ready
to go. I'm looking at that. I'm like, the old adage is always true. We've been saying it all season. We said it last season. A running game travels well.
It does, especially in
the playoffs. And when you're in the cold like that, if you can run the ball, that's going to work for you.
Right.
And I thought, on that drive, that was a premonition as to what was going to happen in the game. I think when they saw them passing the ball out of the shotgun and everything with Tannehill, I think that gave their defense a little bit extra because they're like, hey, they don't think they can run on us.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is they're going to throw. We got to play the throw. And all of a sudden now, they licking the chops.
Right. And then, even on the second, so we forced the punt, which was good.
Which was surprising.
Right, which was surprising.
Surprising.
But you take it. You take the opportunity, knowing that KC is rolling offensively. Right.
Right.
And then come back and a few penalties, a dropped interception, or incomplete pass. Yeah. And they come back
because that dropped interception. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That showed you something too. Yeah. Tannehill was late with the ball, man.
He was late with the ball. He was behind the receiver.
Behind the receiver.
Yeah, and I don't know what the deal was there.
Well, see, and again, you're talking about somebody who's how much has Tannehill actually played in the cold? He had to go to New England and Buffalo when he played in Miami.
Yeah.
But that was one. I mean, you talking about brutal cold in
17 degrees.
In 17 degrees with the wind chill making it feel like it was 5. I mean, the man's on the sideline, not even want to take his gloves off and everything. Right. So you got to understand. That's the other thing I didn't understand about it. You got to have, you got to understand who your quarterback is, and the formula has been working that you don't put the game in the hands of your quarterback. You're putting it in the hands of your running back. To me, you run the ball. But, like I said, we got lucky with that. And then, of course, we got a few key penalties.
Yeah.
And then we end up taking, again, Kansas City helping us out. We take the ball down the field. They run a good, shot. They run the Wildcat to Henry. He runs it in for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, good play call, right?
Yeah.
They saw it last week. They saw a different wrinkle. And now you show them a different wrinkle, right? And so 10-0. The team is looking pretty good on offense. The offense is moving the ball, like you said, helped by some penalties.
Yeah.
A bad throw and they dropped the interception. It was 8 on that drive. So hey, again, up 10-0, you feel pretty good. But then KC comes back down, and to Will's point, rushing 3 defenders on Mahomes and playing soft zone coverage.
Well, they rushed 3 with a spy.
It didn't work.
But it don't get me wrong. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying what they did. They rushed 3 with the spy. But the problem you had, the guy who you got spying never got up there to put pressure on.
He never did. He stayed back.
And the zone, and to Dean P's credit, the zone was working because it wasn't like he was like rolling out and all of a sudden the guy was popping open.
No, yeah, you right. You got to give him credit because he he was making it look like a man coverage,
right,
and going to a 2 deep zone, cover 2,
cover 2,
which was smart. He made him, he held the ball a long time, but he didn't overcover so long.
But he held the ball a long time.
That's right.
He didn't get sacked. He didn't get pressure. I mean, the defensive linemen were after him, but your defensive linemen are not going to catch up with Patrick Mahomes.
No, he's too fast for those guys.
He's too fast for that, and the linebackers you had spine was always waiting too late to go after him.
Yeah.
And I understand, he's trying to play center field and make sure he don't get past, but he's not Lamar Jackson.
Right.
You could go after him. But again, they just did not. It just didn't work. Let's just put it like that. It didn't work.
Yeah. So 10 plays, 74 yards. The Chiefs get on the board 10-7. Again,
But you made them drive.
You made them drive.
Which is another thing I know they wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Slow the game down because they know that offense. We saw it here.
Yeah.
When they played here back in November, that offense is explosive.
Right.
And they can go.
You're right, Melissa. The short passes gave us yards, but it's not the formula to win. And it's running the beast. The beast wears you down.
Late in the second half.
We've
been saying it for two seasons.
Yeah, I think we let them off the hook. The defense, Frank Clark chopping out, barking off at the mouth like that.
Well, yeah.
And then he only ran the ball 3 times the second half. So can you say you stopped him? No, you can't really say that.
You just said you made the offense change.
Yeah, they fell in love with the pass too much. Just
and
my
that's
opinion,
what I thought too. And I'm in agreement with you. They fell in love with the pass. They fell in love. And bottom line is always this, and this is the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna say this because
go ahead.
And I said it in the beginning. There's a reason why Miami let Tannehill go, and what you saw is that while anytime we're effective running the ball, Tannehill is effective throwing the ball. He's efficient.
Yeah, I mean,
but you cannot put the game in his hand and expect him to lead you to a win. It doesn't work. Secondly, we've been saying it for two seasons. Putting Deion Lewis in there tells everybody right off the bat you're going to be throwing the ball because no one has fear of Deion Lewis running.
That's right.
He has no power. And truth be known, he doesn't have any breakaway speed to strike speed. He's not Tyreek Hill.
No.
He's not going to put on the Jets and just outrun the defense. So the bottom line is you have to keep Derrick Henry in the game. Even if you're not going to give him the ball, he makes your play action effective.
He makes it very effective.
It's not effective with Deion Lewis in there. And they went back to the old way, and it just didn't work.
And so the next drive should have been the story of the whole game, in my opinion. You take 15 plays, 75 yards, and you're just pounding it down the field.
Yep.
8 the clock up.
Yep.
Right, and scored a touchdown.
Yep.
And so that was the last that we saw that for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, that was the last drive. We had no more
meaningful drive anyway.
We
right?
had no more drives.
Even though the late score made it 24, but at that time,
Well, I mean, let's give out. Bottom line is. They figured out the pass rush, the zone defense, and everything. We weren't getting to him, so he knew he had time. Anytime we got pressure on him, he rolled out. They couldn't catch up with him. Harold Landry was trying. I had somebody tell me, Harold Landry was giving up, containment on his side. But the bottom line is, if you saw the pass rush when Mahomes ran out, he didn't run towards Harold Landry's side. He ran to the opposite side because they had that covered.
Right.
So they limited him one because that was Dean Pease's plan. Also, give him one side of the field.
Yeah.
But the bottom line was, you couldn't get to him. He had all day to throw.
And still running those twist stunts.
Yeah.
So if you watch the game to that point of Harold Landry losing containment, that's because he's going inside and the tackle's coming out.
Yep.
You got your slower guy coming on the edge, and he's not getting there. And then when he breaks containment, guess what?
That's it.
He's outside the pocket.
He's outside the pocket.
Yeah. And so,
they go down and score right away.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
It didn't even take long at all. 5 plays, and here we go, 17-14.
So here's the thing about it. This comes to the key. This is the whole key of the game.
Yeah, go ahead. I know what you're about to say.
This whole key of the game. All right, we go down. We run 3 straight plays. 1 for 1 yard, 1 for no gain, and then he throws a short pass to Deion Lewis for 6 yards. Screen pass, and
the offensive line couldn't even get out.
No, couldn't get out.
It was set up nice.
Bottom line was he gets tackled. Boom, we have nothing. You end up punting the ball. You get him down. You got him down deep.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they're moving the ball. They're moving the ball, and you get a fumble, but you can't get the ball. Okay, so now you got him in a good position and everything, but you let him out because you don't get any kind of pass rush.
Why not call a timeout on that drive?
I don't know, but
the defense was gassed.
They were gassed. But here's the play that gets you.
Mm-hmm.
The play that gets you. And I was telling people about this all day today, and I was just hearing the Hall of Famer Rod Woodson talk about it on the radio.
Uh-huh.
Mahomes gets out on a run.
Yep.
Your first linebacker, I think it was Roberson.
Yeah, Roberson.
Roberson, he falls.
Yep.
Misses him. Rashard Evans can't get to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he has enough speed to get to him, he can push him out of bounds, but he doesn't do that. Right. So he straddles the sideline. He goes down. Tremaine Brock.
Make the tackle, man. It's a quarterback.
The bottom line is you got to understand game situations.
I know.
Seconds are rolling off the clock. Make the tackle. If you make the tackle, the bottom line is, at best, really, Andy Reid's going to call a timeout. It's going to be like 9 seconds left to go on the clock.
You're going to take one shot.
You're going to take one shot. But what you do is you give your defense a chance to stop them and hold them to a field goal.
That's exactly right.
No. He goes for the strip.
Instead of making the tackle.
There's a reason why Arizona let him go.
Yeah,
and we just saw it.
Yep.
Because he just didn't. I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
It was dumb football. Because the bottom line is, I mean, Vrabel even said it.
Yeah.
He said it back when we played against Oakland. When he was talking about, I think, Joshua Kalu making a tackle one time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going for the punch, but make the tackle.
Make the tackle.
He made a play against Oakland, made the tackle, punched the ball out. We get the ball up. You know, Jalen Brown picks it up. He runs it back. What was the great thing about that? Ty Smith. He makes the tackle. He punched the ball out, but he made the tackle. That was what was important. Tremaine Block.
He just tried to strip the ball.
You make the tackle, man.
Make the tackle right
It's fundamental football. What did we say? What have we been saying? Run the football, tackle on defense. And block.
That's it.
You make the tackle. If you make the tackle, if you go up and make the tackle at the 7 or 5 yard line, they got to scramble. They got to call a timeout.
Yeah, give him a chance. Give your defense a chance.
Give your defense a chance. Instead of you going for the ball, you let him and you ain't strong enough to get it.
Apparently not.
No, apparently not. Oh man, it's just, you know, I'm just gonna chalk it up to it. He had something go wrong in his brain. But I know what it was. In all honesty,
what's that?
He wanted the glory.
Well,
I'm just gonna say
he might have wanted the glory,
but he got the GOAT.
Yeah, he's gone because he also got exposed for being slow.
Oh, well, you knew he was slow. He got exposed for that when he first got here. Because
it was really bad.
But the first game we played against was Kansas City. You saw then he was slow. So you know, and the thing about it is when you look at when we played against New England and we played against Baltimore, theirs was not a deep throw down the field passing game. Theirs is a short passing game, so it doesn't affect you as much. But when you're going against those speedsters, man, you got to be able to cover.
But then you got to protect your guys too, man, with some over the top help. It's blowing.
You blow, but everybody's blowing coverage. You know, when you go man to man, that's what happens.
That's exactly what
happens. The bottom line was, and like I said, that play right there was the game. You know,
it was the game.
It was the game.
It made a difference.
It made a difference in the game.
But you got to get credit to the defense. Second half, it made it stop.
Man, defense in the second, but then the offense can't move the ball.
The offense can't move
the ball.
Like
I said, you didn't give. If you stop them on that play, and if you could hold them to a field goal, you keep them from having momentum.
Right.
2, you keep yourself in a good position to where you can start making plays. You can get back to your fundamental play calling and everything and move the ball down the field.
That's right.
But what happens? He gives up a touchdown. So yeah, he's going to look at that one. He's going to go back and look at the film, and he's going to look at to me, you got to say he cost the team. He cost the team the game, really. To me, I mean, even though we had opportunities after that. That was a momentum changer.
See, and you look at the drive after we got to stop in the beginning of the second half, and you run for 3, then you got an incomplete pass, and now you're third and long. And see, that's not the formula.
And see, here's the whole thing, though. You're right, that's not the formula because That's what we were doing when Mariota was the quarterback.
That's right.
That's exactly the same thing.
That's right.
Run for 3, incomplete pass, now you're in 3rd and long.
Although, he completed the pass to Humphries.
Yeah,
but still, to that point.
But then you came you came right back the next series.
That's right.
You were the same way.
Yeah.
You have, and that's the thing that was getting me. I mean, I was looking at like Tannehill wasn't running the ball. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to run.
He's holding the ball too long.
But that's his whole problem.
Hold the ball away.
You're holding the ball too long. Let's just be honest about it. I'm gonna be honest about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pressure just got to him, man.
It did.
It got to him. The AFC Championship game.
It did.
It got to. Oh, and I got to do this, man.
Go ahead.
I got a public service announcement.
Yeah, go ahead.
To all the bandwagoners out there,
get off.
who jumped on the bandwagon.
Get off.
To those of you who really don't follow NFL football, a couple of things you just don't do. First of all, you don't go out talking about who's going to do what in the game. Don't come up to me talking about Derrick Henry's going to run for 200 yards and we're going to blow the brakes off of him. You just don't. It's the NFL, baby. It's playoff football.
Playoff football.
You don't know what anyone is going to do in that game. So bottom line is, you can say, I think we're going to win. You can say that.
Yeah.
You can say, I think we might win by a lot. But do not say Derrick Henry's going to run for 200 plus yards. Because it just don't happen that way.
It don't.
Bandwagoners. Do yourself a favor.
Get off now.
Just get off. Admit you hadn't been a fan the whole season. And it's fine. It's no big deal. We won't be the true fans are not upset by it.
No,
we're not upset.
No, we're not upset.
We're fine with it. Okay, that's the end of my public service announcement. Let's get back to it. Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
The quarter, listen to this. This time possession for the third quarter alone, 4 minutes for the Titans.
Yeah.
10 for Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we didn't control the clock.
The defense was worn out.
Right, because they started picking up the pace.
The defense was worn out, and they were running the ball over.
And
they were running the ball.
They pulled the formula on us that we don't do on other people.
Yeah, they were running.
But he ran about 4 straight times.
The bad thing about it, they was running on first down getting 8 yards.
Yeah.
Because nobody could get out there to cover them. I mean, but give Andy Reid his credit. Now, I'm just going to give him his credit.
Yeah, you have to.
Because the bottom line was he was running those jet sweeps and bringing Tyreek Hill across the formation, which was making the defense pay more attention to him.
It tipped your hand, though, right?
It tipped you, and it made you move. Yeah. And the bottom line is they went the opposite direction, and nobody was there to pick him up. Right. And even when they were there was no linebacker there to shut the hole down. No. I mean, because Rashard Evans was hurt and running too slow, he couldn't get to the hole. Jayon Brown was hurt; his shoulder was bothering him. He had the harness on and everything. Mm-hmm. So you just wasn't getting plays done. Bottom line was, man, Kansas City just beat us.
They beat us. They outcoached us. And,
yeah.
I mean, what can you say?
They beat us and they outcoached us.
Right. Because Derrick Henry had 19 carries. 25 plus carries leads to a victory. I don't care what you say. They should have ran them more.
No. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm just telling the folks.
Again, in the second half, he only has 3 touches.
3 touches.
That's a problem.
Unexplainable to me.
If you have not learned anything else this year,
the man gets stronger in the second half.
You give him his touches.
And you saw he was very frustrated.
Oh yeah, that's why he was sitting on the sideline looking like he was looking.
Yeah,
he's like, man, I don't understand why we went back to this.
Right.
They went to Deion Lewis, and don't get me wrong, I understand. I will say this: what happened to Bill O'Brien when they played against Houston happened to our team when we played against them as well. They panicked. They panicked. They felt like
and got out of the game plan.
Because
the same thing, this game was eerily similar to the first meeting.
Yeah.
When Kansas City had a double-digit lead. And what happened? We kept running the football.
We kept running
the football.
But this game,
for whatever reason.
I'm just going to put it like this. The pressure of the AFC Championship game got to them, and they panicked. Kansas City had been there before. And they knew what happened the year before, so they were prepared for it and everything. It wasn't that big of a game for them as it was for us. Bottom line was the coaching staff panicked.
Yeah.
And they got out of the game plan, and therefore you end up with your defense staying on the field too long because you didn't control the clock, you didn't run the ball, you kept running to the left side of the line, which is, and I want to explain this for my friend, who kept trying to tell me 64 was on the left side, 64 is the right guard. Roger Saffold is 76, he's the left guard. You kept running to that side and not coming back to the right side. Tannehill ran no boots where he could actually get out there and make a run. And when he tried to make a run one time, it was on 4th down and he paid the price.
And he got lit up.
Because the bottom line was, I give Kansas City their credit.
Yeah.
Kansas City's, their defense was tackling. Their secondary was tackling.
Yeah.
I had to give them the credit. Yeah, they were tackling.
Not only were they tackling, they were getting pressure. Rushing 4. And 5. And sometimes 6.
Yep.
And then they also set the edge.
Yeah.
Which makes it hard to run outside.
Yeah. But you gotta do what you need to do.
Yeah,
and the bottom line was they didn't try. To me, they gave up on the running game too quick. And I think when they go back and look at that game film, they're gonna see that they gave up on the running game and they gave up on Derrick Henry too quick. So the bottom line, and then you played right into the Chiefs' hand. And the bottom line was you still had opportunities to keep the game close. And you didn't take advantage of it.
You gave up the 35 points. And Brock gets called for a holding, which I don't know. They was both tussling, and he falls down, and Sammy Watkins gets. It is what it is.
He got called, and he was. My thing is like this: if you're gonna do something like that, get him at the line of scrimmage and chuck him. He's the speedster. You're supposed to be the physical guy.
And that was a change I saw in the second half. I know you noticed it too. That we played more man coverage, as you mentioned, but they wouldn't get a lot of contact off the line of scrimmage.
They were giving them free releases. Yeah. You can't give a speedster free releases.
You cannot.
It's all timing. It's all timing. So you have got to hit them at the line of scrimmage. You have got to make them redirect.
Yeah.
You can't. And again. The coverage wasn't that bad because Patrick Mahomes was trying to figure out who to throw it to. He had all day. The problem was we had no pressure. We could not get pressure with 4 guys.
Right. And if you get that much time with NFL, because he had a lot of time.
Let's be honest about it. The worst quarterback, you give them that much time.
They're going to find somebody.
They're going to find somebody. Somebody's going to come up because the secondary just can't cover that long.
I agree with you, Will. They got out of their play calling, man. They wanted to let Tannehill shine.
And the thing about it is that's not the game.
That's not the game.
Let's be honest about it. And we said it before. Miami let Tannehill go for a reason. Tannehill does not win you football games. Now, don't get me wrong. In certain situations, he can make plays. Like when we played against Kansas City back in November, when they screwed up on that field goal and we got the ball back, you're in your 2-minute offense. It's a minute left to go. You got to throw the ball. So you're going to make plays. He's going to have to make plays for you. You're scrambling. They're scrambling because they're all in a tizzy. But then but you don't get down by 15 and say, Tannehill's going to take over the game. Is going to do it. It just doesn't happen that way.
It just doesn't happen. So 35-24, last touchdown by Ferguson in the fourth quarter. At that point,
it's window dressing, man.
Yeah. But like you said, like you said, a good season.
Yeah.
For the Titans, exceeded expectations by
tremendously.
Yeah, because like you said, 2-4, this team looks like it's gonna be a playoff team.
But they made the change.
Yeah, you got to give
Vrabel his credit.
You got to give credit to the coaching staff for rallying this team together, offensively and defensively, and getting the scheme going. And this is not an excuse, but I think eventually the injuries caught up to the football team. Yeah. It's not an excuse by any means because Kansas City was a better team yesterday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, but injuries caught up, and then the moment caught up with him as well.
I think so too.
Vrabel his second year, but this is the biggest game he's been in as a head coach. Arthur Smith, biggest game for him is play calling.
Hey, look, give Arthur Smith his credit, man, because the offense was struggling, and when they made the change, the offense came to life. Because we were averaging 14 points a game or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Before they made the change. So give Arthur Smith his credit. Yeah, for a first-year play caller, that's the biggest game he's going to call. Hey, look, we got there.
Like I said, man, 2-4.
2-4.
So, okay, the Texans didn't play their starter. Yeah, I heard all that. They got lucky. Yeah, they got It don't matter. It don't matter. They got in the playoffs.
And made noise.
Right.
You had to go against the number one defense and the number one offense.
Right. And it was 2018 sitting at home this past weekend, wishing they could play in that game. So I don't
put like this. Yeah, the Texans rested their players in that last game, but who was playing in the AFC Championship game?
That's exactly right.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we can't make those decisions for those guys.
That's all I'm saying. And it's just like we had some things go our way this year. Think about it. Jeffrey Simmons coming back as early as
Jeffrey Simmons came back early, which is
really improved the run defense overall.
Right.
You had some things going. Malcolm Butler getting hurt, but you had. I give Dean Pieces credit, but Malcolm Butler getting hurt, he did some things scheme wise to cover some flaws up in that secondary that actually came to play and everything. So I thought there were some things we did good. I mean, and it's got to give Dean Pieces credit. We went against Lamar Jackson. He had a great game plan against him.
Right.
Yeah, he had 508 yards in total offense, but he didn't score.
I do want to reply. Butchie was replying. He says we actually ran too much. I disagree. I don't think we ran enough.
Oh no,
I really because you got 31 pass attempts by Tannehill. You only got 19 touches.
And go back.
The stats prove it.
And go back and look at the record. Anytime Tannehill is throwing 30 times, we lose.
That's right. And 25 plus touches a game for the Beast, that's a W.
That's a W.
I mean,
every time.
The stats are there. I mean, it's proven.
It's been shown that like if Derrick Henry gets 100 yards rushing and everything, we win. We win.
Yeah. And another question, Tannehill, he is an unrestricted free agent. So
let's get into that.
Let's get into that.
That's going to be this. Now I will say this for football fans, for NFL football fans, and to be be a Titans fan. This is going to be the most interesting offseason we've had in a long time.
It is. It's got a bunch of big names on it.
This, and I'm gonna be honest with you now. I'm just going by what I read and what I saw on the interview. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the Beast is going to be back, man.
Yeah. He,
the way he was talking, man,
we'll see.
No, we'll see.
We'll see. But I did read something today that said he wanted to get something worked out here, but I don't know.
Well, I'm sure he does. He's going, I think he's going to say that, and I think he means that. I think he would like to be back. Yeah. Because let's be honest about it. You got your line already. You know the scheme. You're comfortable.
You got some receivers.
Yeah. You got a decent quarterback. Mm-hmm. Right now. So the thing about it is, I'm hoping it ain't so, Stephen, but. When you read his comments and you see the interview, it looks a little shaky to me. So but anyway, I just think you got some things happening. The off season has already started.
Yeah. So as we look, so big news today. He's retired.
He retired for the second time. And he said, "This is it."
Yeah, this is it. So,
but
who's out there? We don't. Right now,
Wade Phillips was still out there.
He's still out there, but if you bring him in, you got to change the scheme to a 4-3. Yeah. He's a 4-3 guy.
Yeah, well, no, he's done both.
Right. He's done both. You're right.
He's done both. He did a 4-3 in L.A., but he did a 3-4 in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So he can do both. And one thing about Wade Phillips' defense is very aggressive. Corners have to play man-to-man because that's the type of defense he runs, and he believes in getting pressure on the quarterback.
And, of course, Kerry Combs is going to Ohio State for defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator, so you need a new secondary coach.
Coach.
Free agents out there. You got, the big names, you got Derrick Henry, you got Jack Conklin, you got Ryan Tannehill, Logan Ryan, Wesley Woodyard. Tremaine Brock is a free agent. I think Deion Lewis could be out of his contract this year.
I think he needs to be out of his contract this year, to be honest with you.
So, but you got a lot of people that are coming up and coming out of the contract. So, this is when we really find out the type of GM we have. Let's be honest about it. John Robinson has done great with draft picks and everything, and he's tried to fill holes with free agents. Some of them have worked out, some of them have not. But overall, as far as draft picks are concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. We said it at the beginning, before the season got started, and we can still say it. This is still the most talented team we've ever had since the '99 year, the first 2 years we were here.
Right.
But there's some big time free agents going on, and I got people talking to me, man, about bringing Phillip Rivers here, and I'm like.
Well, even Stephen Smith, A. Smith talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not doubting their talent or anything.
Yeah.
But I will say this about Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a good player, smart player and everything, but you got to realize, look at his age, and you got to understand that something got exposed in that game against us in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. His arm strength is about gone.
Yep.
His arm strength is about gone. Father Time does not lose. The arm strength on a good quarterback is going to be the first thing that goes, and that's why they were running those short passing games with the receivers and everything. So Edelman and all them. That's why they was running that game. So, Phillip Rivers, my problem with him is that he throws too many interceptions.
Yeah, and
he throws way too many turnovers, man. And he throws unnecessary turnovers.
So let's look at this list of free agents. So of course you got Logan Ryan.
Yeah,
we got Mariota. We know he's not coming back. You got Conklin. You got Woodyard, which he's probably gonna come back. Of course, we already talked about Tannehill. You got Darren Bates.
Woodyard's probably gone.
Yeah, you got Darren Bates. You got Dennis Kelly.
Yep.
Correa's out there. Austin Johnson. Derrick Henry, Brock Fluellen, Jennings, Tajay, Sims, Gilbert, Batson, and Ferguson. So, I think you definitely got to do something with the quarterback position. It doesn't have to be Tannehill, it could be somebody else, but somebody needs to be in, and then look at the draft to bring in another guy.
Well, I'll be honest with you, and this is I've been all through the season. You talk about this now. I'll be the first one to admit the fanboy in me said you bring back both Tannehill and Henry because they seem to work well together this year and everything. So
right.
And I think they both work well off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Tannehill benefits from Henry being the running back and people focusing on him. Henry benefits because Tannehill can throw the ball.
Yeah.
He can make passes. So, is he the best quarterback out there? Absolutely not. But can he get the job done? Yeah. So he can do that as long as he got the talent around him and everything. I think that the fanboy in me says you bring them both back. But the bottom line is they're going to have to franchise somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put a franchise tag on them. And to me, in all honesty, the easiest person to franchise would be Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Because I think you come out having to spend less money on a franchise tag than you would if you franchise Ryan Tannehill. But I think if you franchise Derrick Henry, you got to franchise him with the caveat we're working out a long-term deal.
Yeah, would they overpay? I don't think they overpay Tannehill.
No, I don't think they overpay. Well, I will say this. They'll pay. I don't think they'll overpay on anybody. If one thing I can say about John Robinson, I've noticed that he's going to pay for the key people who he thinks are cogs for this team.
Yeah,
that's why he went ahead and locked up Kevin Byard because he's a cog for the secondary.
Right.
He's the quarterback of the secondary. He makes it go, and that's why he went ahead and locked up Kenny Vaccaro. Those two in tandem work well together. Say what you want to about him. Yeah, he had a bad year, but locking up Taylor Lewan early was a good move.
It was.
Now, do I think he'll go out and go ahead and take care of and lock up Jack Conklin? Probably so. I think he will. I mean,
he proved his worth.
He proved his worth.
He played good.
In spite of what people said about him, he had a good season.
He had a issue with blocking that backside yesterday.
Oh yeah, he had problems yesterday. But who didn't?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest about it. Ben Jones had a few issues too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Conklin had a couple of issues yesterday, but I think overall he's a solid right tackle. So yeah, are you gonna sign him for big money? No. If he wants outrageous money, no, you got to let him walk. But the bottom line is, if you can sign him for a reasonable price, you go ahead and sign him.
And I agree, Delaney Walker, to me, he's gone as well. So
yeah, well, he got caught up in the emotion of the thing, and I think he was the one player that was upset about them benching Mariota. Maybe we could be wrong. We don't know. We're not in his head, but he got hurt and everything. He never saw the field again. So as a matter of fact, until yesterday, you didn't even see him anywhere.
Right.
They didn't. Yesterday was the first time I saw him on the sideline.
So the another addition, you got to get an edge rusher. You got to add some speed to the secondary. Of course, you got to get a couple more coaches. Looking at who's out there, you got Clowney's out there. Chris Jones is out there, who decimated the interior of our line yesterday.
Yeah.
You got Dante Fowler. He's not a strong edge guy. He's a good rusher. Shaq Barrett, the young guy. Bud Dupree. So there's some guys out there. Matthew Judon. There's some guys out there. Leonard Williams. So there's guys out there that can help you on the edge. As far as outside linebacker. Some cornerbacks out there to bring in to create some more depth.
But
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's a lot to be done. I mean, and I will say this for the NFL fan in me, this is great because it's only a few weeks before the combine hits, man, and we're back in football mode again. It's great, and you gotta love it.
Do you bring back Logan Ryan? He's not the fastest guy. He's intelligent. He can play the slot. He can blitz. He can tackle. But do you bring him back? And
it's possible. I mean, because one thing you like about Logan Ryan, he is a physical corner.
Yeah.
He can play physical. Is he fast? No. But can he cover tight ends? Can he cover running backs out the backfield? Absolutely.
Right.
So, he does bring some benefit. And like you said, he is very smart, very savvy veteran, knows how to play the position, knows how to blitz. So, yeah, he has value. If he wants to come back and you can get him for reasonable money, absolutely you sign him back because he's going to help your defense out. Like we said about before, Darren Bates, if you can get him for reasonable money, yeah, you bring him back.
Yeah.
Because he was the key on your special teams. The coverage weakened when he was out hurt. When he came back in, the coverage absolutely improved. One thing we didn't talk about in the game yesterday, special teams played exceptionally well.
Considering the return game that Kansas City had, you're right.
We kept him in check, kept him covered. He had no big runs and everything, so that was really good about the special teams. Again, we said the kicker, that's a part of the game we got to get solidified. This year was a total disaster. Right. Total disaster in the kicking game.
5 different kickers on the roster.
The thing you got, but here's the thing about it. To me, free agents out there, yeah, you got to go out there and you got to get some. But the bottom line is, you got to start looking at the draft. Even if you sign Tannehill back, you got to go out and try to locate a guy who you think can take this team and lead this team to the promised land at QB. You got to go out and you're going to have to draft another running back. You got to draft another back. You got to draft a faster running back, one that can be a threat on third down, more so than to run and catch the ball, as opposed to what you have right now in Deion Lewis. And 2, you got to have somebody that's going to be able to take some carries off of Derrick Henry. They figured it up today, and I listened to it. I think for the year he had carried the ball 400 times.
Close to it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, close to it.
And generally what you find out is that running backs who carry that many in one season, the next year they come back, the injury bug hits them.
Yeah.
Because the body gets worn out.
And so, Cam, that's what it looks like. It's going to be somewhere in that neighborhood. They believe that he's going to be asking for Ezekiel Elliott money. So, but we'll see.
That's the word. I mean, he led the league in rushing. So,
he did.
He's going to get that. But, the bottom line is, I know John Robinson knows the history of the game. I'm sure he's looking at it and said 400 carries, 400 touches is a lot. I don't know if he's going to get Ezekiel Elliott.
Joe, I think we do bring back Suck Up, give him a chance to get healthy and see if he can. Because, he was a solid kicker when he was healthy. He just wasn't healthy this year at all.
At all.
And so I think you bring him back and at least let him come back to camp and see what he does.
He's not a free agent.
No, he's not a free agent.
So, he will be back. But, yeah, you got to bring back another kicker to see and bring back the competition and see if you can find one. Does Joseph come back? Well, Joseph disappointed me yesterday because none of his kickoffs went into the end zone.
I think it might have been a win because it seemed like the Kansas City's kickoffs didn't get in his zone either.
No, Kansas City's kickoffs did get there. That was my whole thing. So I'm like, okay. But, you bring Suck Up back. You got to. I mean, he's under contract, so you bring him back. But you definitely bring in the kicker. Chances are they're going to bring in the punter because Brett Kern, man, his legs got to be sore. I mean, the brother was kicking. Although that was a great fake pass he threw on that fake punt.
You got to give him credit for this shit. They got some good trick plays on those special teams.
They did some good ones, man.
Guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments, the wrap up of the 2019-2020
the season. We're done.
Thank you for the support. This is our second season doing Halftime Adjustments, but hey, we appreciate all the comments and support.
Absolutely, man.
And y'all joining in for the show. It was a great year. We appreciate it. Great football season.
Man, great football. A lot of good things to talk about.
A lot of good things to talk about.
And go ahead, man.
And going into 2020, it don't get any easy. You got the AFC North.
Yeah.
You got the NFC North. You got the Bills and the Broncos. And so it doesn't get it. You got the Packers. You don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be back. He might, But you got a tough schedule coming up next year, and it like I said, it doesn't get any easier. You got a running back with almost 400 carries that you got to decide on whether you're gonna pay him for the next 4 years. He just turned 26.
Yeah, he's young,
and so he probably got about 3 or 4 more good years.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
if he's got another year in where he carried the ball 400 times.
No. We got
to get a quarterback.
You got to
get a passing game that's gonna put fear in the defense.
And that was another thing that bothered you, especially in the playoffs. You found out our receivers had a hard time getting separation.
Yeah.
Especially man-to-man coverage, they had a hard time getting separation, and again, some of it's on the quarterback without a doubt, not getting the ball out in time and everything, or throwing the ball late. Mariota was very guilty of that, and Tannehill was guilty of it yesterday.
Right.
Some plays he went well, but some plays he just got the ball out late. Some plays off schedule, they went well. I mean, the pass he threw to Jonnu Smith, but they never got him involved in the passing game again. Called Corey Davis one time. He made a good run.
Davis had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game, and Brown had a pretty good game. Mm-hmm. So but they got to get that fire in them to want to get that separation to make those plays they need to play, because we got big receivers. Big receivers got to make big plays, man.
That's right. Big receivers got to make big plays,
especially when you don't have track stars like they do at Kansas City.
Yeah.
You got to be able to. They got to learn the position game, man. How to physically get positioned to make the catches, and that's the issue they ran into this year. They just did not physically get positioned to make most of their catches. Tajay Sharp is a good route runner, but as you saw in the playoffs, he had a hard time getting open as well.
So we'll be back. Free agency coming up, and then the draft and Super Bowl prediction. Who you got? Who you think?
Man, well, I would say this. It's going to be hard. It should be a good game. I'm really hoping for. I would prefer to see a defensive battle like we saw last year.
Uh-huh.
So, but I think San Francisco's weakness is Garoppolo.
If it comes down to a game of need to be passing, you're right.
You got to be Kansas City.
He showed that card a lot this season.
I think now one thing San Francisco does have good, they have a good pass rush up front.
They can just rush those four.
And they can just rush those four. Their linebackers are quick.
Yep. They're
fast. They can keep up with your running backs. But I will say this: corners. Richard Sherman's a bad boy. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's smart.
He don't have the speed to match up.
He don't have the speed to match up.
So they're going to rely on pressure.
So they got to rely on getting the pressure into Mahomes. Yeah, it ain't hard to get pressure on Tannehill. Get pressure on Mahomes, and it's going to be interesting. I think the 49ers defense is better, but Kansas City's defense has improved so much. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good defensive game. I don't really have a favorite. I don't care. In all honesty, because we're not in it, So right now, I'm in my feelings right now because we're not in it. So I'm not making any predictions. Man. I'm in my feelings, man. I'm hurt. Man, we were right there.
The football fan in me just loves football.
I love football too, but I just can't make a prediction right now. But actually, I think it might be Kansas City's year.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it,
I think it might be Kansas City's year. And much as I hate it because Frank Clark has been talking so much smack.
No, man.
I just think it might be the year. I think it might be the year Andy Reid finally gets it done.
Finally gets that monkey out of his back.
Yeah, get the monkey out of his back.
Thank you for the support. Year 2.
We're on next week?
We will be on next. No, we won't be on next week. We won't be on next week. We'll let you know when we're going to come back on next week. I got to travel next weekend. So
okay. All right.
But anyway, so come back, join us. We'll put something out. We'll be back. We'll talk off season. We'll talk free agency.
Yeah.
We'll talk draft, and we'll talk
football. It's a lot going. It's a lot going on. That's the beautiful part about the NFL. It's a year-round sport, baby.
Year-round sport.
I mean, come March, you got the free agency period, franchise tag period coming up on March the 10th. Free agency starts, and it starts all over. Next thing you know, you're going to the draft, man, and it's on again. So we got the combine coming up. We got the All-Star games coming up. Hey, look, we get to look at talent because we got to find a quarterback, man. We got to find a quarterback.
Halftime adjustments. Hey there and there. G-Whip. Thank
Tighten
you
up,
again
baby. Tighten up.
for joining us for 2019-2020. We'll be back.
Great season.
We'll let y'all know.
All right.
Hey, tighten up.
Peace.